All right, so I opened up my scene. If you remember before, I'm sorry, I'm in the game here. Scene. We did the ground and the water and all that other business, and yay. Okay, so I got this laid out. So what I need to do now is basically bring in, first off, my 3D elements and configure them and make them all work. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing. It's a little bit quirky to make them work, so you're going to have to follow these steps sort of kind of specifically. Okay, so first I'm just going to make a folder, create folder, and I'm just going to call it 3D, and that's where my 3D elements are going to go. So there they are. All right, so I'm going to take this, shift it to the side, put this over here, and I have my Maya project folder. I'm going to go to my scenes, and basically I'm bringing these different elements. So I have the egg, which was basically a thing I had made. So I'm going to take that, and you'll see when I pop it, I'm just going to drag it into here. It's automatically going to work on setting this up. Give it a moment. Yada, yada, yada. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all of them in first, and then, so this is just a normal Maya binary file. I'm just going to drag it in here, and it will do all the conversions and what it needs to in order to get it in there. I'm going to have to make some adjustments to it, but it's a start. So I'm just going to try and get the elements in, and then afterwards we'll go through and fix them. So let's see. Just have to wait. I'm going to pause it because this is taking a very long time. So that was just something that I modeled inside of Maya. So that was an egg, and then I have this egg leg. So I'm going to drop this in here. And there it is there. And I can see actually it has extra parts that I didn't want. I wonder if I can just delete that part. Let's see. Well, I'll fix that afterwards. Okay, so there's the egg and the leg. So that's all good. And now what I need to do is bring in my kid animation. So I'm going to drop that over here into my 3D. There it is there. You can see it's a bit weird. You'll see why in a second. So the kid anim, and then I'm going to need my Rhea animation as well. So let's see. We'll take this and drop this in here as well. And good. So that should all be adequate. Let's just see. Is this... All right, good. Okay. So I got my elements in here, and that looks fine. And you'll see that basically all the materials that are applied to this go into this little materials folder here. So I'm just going to minimize this one here. Okay. So I have the pieces I need in order to make them work. Okay. So I'm just going to go one by one and look at this. So I'm looking at this egg here, and if I were to look at it, it looks a little bit gray. Okay. So I'm going to change that. What I'm going to do is actually drop it. I'm just going to, oops, back up here. Just going to get close to like a tree here, so that I can use it kind of as like a guide. Take it, and I'm going to put it right here. And you can see this egg is clearly too big, right? So I'm going to click on this here. I'm going to make sure I'm looking underneath the model. I do not care about rigger animation. Animations, I'll just turn this off and hit apply, because there is no animations applied to it, so that way there's nothing weird going on with it. The only thing I really care about, or at least up here, the thing I care about is the scale factor. So I'm looking at it, it's very large. I'm going to try 0.25 and hit apply. And that looks about the right size. So I'm going to say 0.25. This might need to be adjusted later on, but this is just at what scale it brings it in as. Okay. The other thing I need to worry about is the material. And I believe it's this. You can see I didn't name my stuff, which is very bad by me. So I'm going to take this, and I am just going to look at these various things here in order to adjust how it looks. So I'm going to take my smoothness and bring it to the left here so it's not quite so shiny. And I'm going to take the color here, and I'm going to make it a little bit whiter. That looks fine. And the rest of that's fine. Yay. So we're going to say that that's good, and that will satisfy me as far as that is concerned. I'm just going to leave the egg right in here just to have it as a guide. All right. Next, I'm just going to do the things that are the the things that aren't animated or anything. So these are basically, oops, instead of, if I drop it and drag it, it's going to put it probably at origin, but if I drag it in here, it'll like snap it to what this is. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go to, where are you? This one here, and I'm going to delete that, and we will go ahead and delete it because I never wanted that part of it. So now we're going to drag this back down to here, and I'm going to go to this thing. Oops. Eek. If I double click on this, it will focus on that. Okay. And let's see this. And go over here, animations, turn that off, apply. Again, it doesn't need to be done, but you might as well. So let's try 0.25. I'm gonna hit apply. And that looks somewhat, you know, approachable. So I'm gonna take that and I'll plop that there. And that looks adequate. So we'll call that good. All right. So that's gonna be my, I'm gonna go ahead and change this to dinner. All right, or we'll call this health, because this is actually going to be my health pickup. Health, and I'm going to change this to ammo. Okay, so we have those two things there. Good. And these will be changed afterwards. Okay, so now is the more difficult things. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and grab my kid, and I'm going to drag him over here, and I can see that he is a little large compared to the trees, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select it here. I'm going to go to the model here, and let's try 0.25. Hit apply. Probably make him way too small, but we'll see. And that makes... I'm okay with these being a little bit too big, so I'm actually thinking 0.25 is okay. Now, a couple things you may have noticed is that this looks like junk. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The one reason why this is happening is if you go down to where it says normals, for whatever reason, his normals are messed up. So instead of doing import, you could just calculate and then hit apply, and it will, and it's doing it based on 60 degrees, which is normally what you want, and then it gives you kind of this, and that doesn't look that great, so let's go a little bit higher. Let's hit apply, try 92. See if it smooths out this. There we go. Okay. Basically, the higher the number, anything that's underneath this will be smooth. Anything above this will be hard. Okay, so I made it so that it was 92. So basically, anything 90 degrees or below. All right, that looks okay. Now, the other thing I want to do, as far as this guy is concerned, I'm just going to set this up over here, is I'm going to make another folder inside of my 3D folder, create folder, and I'm just going to call it textures. Or textures. Okay. And I'm once again going to pop this over here, and I'm going to go to my source images, and I have these textures. Okay. Now, when I brought the materials over, it didn't know, it brought the material, but not the images that were attached to them. So inside my textures folder, I'm going to go ahead and grab these two, the kid base and the kid normals, and the RIA base and the RIA normal. So basically the color map and the normal map. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 3D assets. I'm going to go to materials, and where it says kid base text, the albedo, I'm going to hit this little target symbol, popped it over here, and I am going to look for my kid. So where are you? Well, it's alphabetical, so E, F, G, there we go, kid. All right, so I'm going to double click on that. There's his texture, and then the normal, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look for the kid normal, where are you? Kid normals. And you can see it's not marked as a normal map, and click on fix now, and then it will fix it for you. There we go. And then if I want to do anything else, so like his smoothness, I'm gonna take that down because he's not really shiny. Okay, so good, there he is, and hooray. All right, I don't have like a specular map or anything like that. I'm gonna do the same thing for the RIA. I'm just gonna go ahead and click on the albedo, which is basically the color map, sometimes called diffuse. It's just how they call it in here. So so we'll take this down, and then the normal map, let's see, go down to RIA. All right, so whatever yours is, obviously mine's a RIA, so boom, go ahead and fix that. Good. All right, so even though it's not in here, that's just going to make it so that you can, well, it's not going to show, well, you can see it here, right? Got fixed. All right, so let's continue on with our kid here. So the next thing I need to do is basically, you know what? I'm going to do him and the RIA at the same time. So I'm going to take the RIA, I'm going to bring it over here. You can see, again, it's too big. Go to the model. Let's do 0.5 because I actually want this to be kind of big, so it's a little more foreboding. And let's see, 0.5. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, good. And I'm looking at him, and he looks a bit odd as well. But we're just going to leave that as it is for now. Okay, good. All right, so we got that, and we got him. Those are both looking pretty good. So the next thing to do is to adjust the rig. Now, with the rig, what you want to do is go to the animation type and make sure it's generic. The legacy and the humanoid, even though it's humanoid, they don't work for whatever reason. So just make sure it's on that. The rest of this is fine. Then go to animations. It should be import animation, but what you're going to notice is it doesn't look quite right, right? It's got this kind of weirdness to it. You have to click on bake animations. Go ahead and hit apply. And this might take a second, so I think I'm going to pause it while it bakes it. All right, so the baked animations are working now. So now if I click on here and hit play, you can see the animations. Okay, so okay. Another thing. So what I need to do now is basically cut these little. Basically, I got to cut these into clips. Okay, because if I hit play right now, or if I scrub this across, you'll see that it's playing my one, then the other. It's all of the clips together. It's just bringing it in as one whole scene. What I got to do is basically cut them into chunks. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and actually do this on my RIA as well. Just do them both at the same time. That way, it's already set up. I'm gonna click on bake. I'm gonna hit apply. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this while it does. Oh no, did it quick. Okay, and you'll see, boom. Okay, great. And what I'm gonna do is, now that I got the RIA here, I'm just gonna cut it into the different sections. So what you're gonna see is up here, it's gonna start at 43 and end at 98, right? So that doesn't really work. So I'm gonna start at 1, and then I'm gonna hit play and see. Okay, it goes till roughly. So this is my walk cycle. Boom, boom. So we're going to say 23, maybe 24. And let's see what that looks like. And if I play, it looks pretty good. Now, this is also a looped animation. So I'm going to click on loop time. That just means it's going to treat it like a loop. And I'm going to name this. I'm going to name it just walk. We're going to call it. Okay. Hit enter. And that's good. That's one clip. Okay. And then I'm going to hit plus, and now that is 1 to 24 is walk, okay? Now I have this next take, and so if that one's at 24, we're going to put the next one at 25. We'll start it and see if this is right. So that's the attack. So let's see if this looks right. Boom. So I don't think it starts at 25. I'm going to say it starts at... maybe it does start at 25. Boom, and then comes back. And we'll say to 42. 42. And we're going to say this one is attack. Oops. Attack. And enter. And I'm going to hit the little plus. And now we're on the next one. And this one was 43 to 98. So let's see what this looks like. And that's the fall dead. Yep. And that looks pretty okay. Okay. And we're just going to call this one death. Good. Now I'm going to click back on this one because if you think about it, this should be looped. I didn't make it a looped one. I need to make sure it's on loop. Okay. The death only happens once, so that's not looped. But the walk and the tack, those are both looped. Okay. So now you can see each one of those. And basically, I'm just making these clips. Okay. So I did that to that one. That looks good. I'll hit apply. Forgot to hit apply. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this. Control S. And now I'm going to go and do the same thing with the kid here. Okay. So I got my idle. Right, which is just him standing still, and it goes till, let's say 43. So 1, 2, let's say 43. And this one's going to be a loop, and it's going to be idle. Okay, and let's just hit play and see what that looks like. And that looks adequate. Okay, so that's idle. Let's hit plus and do the next one, and we're going to say if that last one's ends at 43, let's try 44 to start at. And I'm going to hit play. Okay, so it's the shooting one. So it should be there. Boom. Okay, so I'm just going to make it start, we'll say... actually, we can start here. So 44 to boom. And we'll say to 59.